Welcome to Elementary Math with Mr. Scott. I'm glad to have you with us. We're continuing our video series here on place value. And today we're running into one that just kind of really stumps students. And I'll go through this one pretty thoroughly to make sure that we have everything. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Our place value lesson today is based on what is place and what is value. Before we get started, let's go ahead and define these terms so that we know what that means. Place is the position of a digit, okay? And again, we're talking about, is it in the ones place? Is it in the tens place? And so on. Just kind of, well, we'll add hundreds to it as well. But again, it could be any number. Digit could be in any place, 10 thousands, 100 thousands, 10 millions, whatever. But place refers to the position that it is in, okay? Now, as we move on here, we have what's called value, okay? And this is the one that kids really struggle with. Value is what a digit is worth, okay? And again, there's that word that we're talking about, value. And again, that is just how much is that digit worth, okay? So let's do some examples here to help this out so that you kind of get the gist of what we're talking about. So if I were to pick a number here, and again, I'm just going to make up any old number. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to make this a little bigger for us to be able to look at here. So we've got this number here. And I'm going to go ahead and underline, let's just say this 7. Okay? So many times in the curriculum, it'll underline a digit. And it'll say, what is the place of this digit? What is the worth of this digit? So if we do that, we look at the 7 here, and the place of that 7 is, well, we have to count over our places, right? So let me go ahead and get our place, and I'm going to go ahead and slide over here a little farther, and I'm going to put value so that we can kind of see what is going on here, okay? So we have place and we have value. Now the 7, as we said before, is in the digit 7's a third place over. So again, we need to know our places. Ones, that's a O. Again, tens. And I'm just using this as an abbreviation to help us figure out ones, tens, hundreds. So what place is the 7 in? Well, 7 is in the hundreds place, okay? Okay, so then what? Well, now we have to figure out what is the value of the 7, okay? Well, that means what is it worth? How much is it? Well, again, we should know here that the 7 is in the hundreds place, so that means that the 7 is worth 700. Okay, does that make sense? Place is where it is, what position is it in, and value is what is it worth, 700. Okay, now let's move on to, let's try a different digit here and see if we can do another one. Let's do red, and let's do this 4, because this tends to be one that kids struggle with. Okay, again, we aren't necessarily sure what our places are, right? So we have ones, tens, hundreds, and again, I'm going to put a TH here to make that 1,000, right? And then our next place is a 10,000. So I'm going to put a TTH. So what place, what position is this 4 in? Well, the 4 is in, right, the 10,000s place. Okay, so I'm going to do this in, since we underlined it in red, 10,000. Okay. Now, what is it worth? Okay. Well, we have 4 in the 10,000s place. Okay. What that is really saying is that I have 10,000 4 times. Well, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. What is it? Yep. 40,000. Okay. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about value versus the place. And these are terms that kids really get mixed up a lot. A lot of times they don't read very closely. And in the directions, it'll say, I want the value of the digit. Sometimes they'll say, I want the place of the digit. And if they're not paying attention, if you're not just focused in on those words, underline those words. Or circle them if you need to help you remember, oh, they're looking for place. Oh, no, they're looking for value, so that you can make sure that you don't make silly errors, okay? Well, that is our lesson today. Make sure that you understand the difference between place and value. I hope you guys have a great day. And remember, math can be fun.